Hello everyone, welcome back to Caroline's Pilates. Today marks the start of part 2 of my summer prep program, and we will be focusing this month on toning our muscles. Starting this video with a 16-minute Pilates class where we spend extended time under tension. If you're ready, let's get warmed up and start our workout. Let's start today sitting at the back of our mat and sitting on our heels. We'll interlace the fingers, press the palms out and away from our chest, and pull the navel back to the spine to hollow out the belly. Once we've exhaled all of the carbon dioxide that we can, let's reach our palms up to the sky on an inhale, and then let's begin an exhale where we close our ribs over our hips. Circle the arms down at the end of that exhale, and then let's repeat, interlacing the fingers and pressing the palms away from the chest again. Hollow through the belly, let the spine curve forward before we inhale and reach up. And then exhale, close the ribs over the hips. Finish off that exhale by circling the arms down once more. Take your hands to your hips now, and then exhale, pulling the navel back to the spine. Hold the navel pulled back as you walk the hands forward and come into a tabletop position. Then in tabletop, release the core and slide the palms forward, lowering the chest into child's pose. Let's repeat. Roll the shoulders back on an inhale, take the hands to the hips, exhale, hollow out the belly. Hold that navel pulled back to the spine as you walk forward to tabletop again, and then release. Slide the palms forward and ripple through the spine back up to a sitting position. Let's now level this up just a bit. This time, exhale, pull the navel back to the spine, walk forward to tabletop, tuck the toes and hover the knees 1 inch above the mat. Release the stomach as you lower the knees down, press through child's pose, and then ripple the spine back up to a sitting position. We'll do this again. This is a great exercise to make sure that your transverse abdominis is really engaged so that as you train your core, you're not going to end up with a little pooch in your belly or work hard to train your core only to end up still having some back pain. Let's level this up even further. Take the hands to the hips, exhale, hollow the belly, pulling the navel back, and this time walk forward all the way out to a plank, engaging the glutes at the top. Take an inhale, release the belly as you lower the knees, and then slide back through child's pose. We'll do just like this one more time.
Show me your love. Show me your love.
Great job. This time, keep the navel pulled back towards the spine and walk forward into tabletop. Let's start off with some bird dogs. Extend the right leg and left arm long on the mat, and on our exhale, we'll lift everything up, pulling the navel farther back towards the spine as we lift, and we'll inhale, tap down. Exhale, lift, inhale, tap down. Let's repeat this just 4 more times. Keep your eyes down on the mat to make sure that you've got a straight line from your fingertips all the way through your spine and out from your toes. Hold everything lifted on this last one. Let's flex the foot and bend through the elbow and the knee, lifting the hand and the foot straight up to the sky, and then extend on an inhale. Keep going with this and try to keep the knee and the elbow at the same height as you extend and bend. Let's do one more. Hold the leg extended here and drop the arm down to the mat. Tuck the toes of your left leg and hover the knee about 1 inch above the mat, and then draw the right knee from left elbow to right elbow before you inhale to extend. Each time you draw it in, pull the navel farther towards the spine and really try to hollow out the belly, keeping your eyes down on the mat. Let's keep going for one more. Great job. Lower the knee down, but keep the leg lifted. Let's flex the foot and lower on an inhale down to the mat before we exhale, lift and pulse at the top. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift and pulse. Really try to keep the toes and the knee pointed straight down at the mat through this exercise to help make sure that your hips stay level and you're really working through the glute muscles. We have one more. Great job. Rest the right knee down on the mat now, and let's get started with the other side, extending left leg and right arm long on the mat, and then exhale to lift everything, including the belly button, straight up. Inhale, tap down to the mat. Exhale, lift, and inhale, lower. We'll do 3 more. Again, check in with that belly button and make sure that it's pulled up and tight towards the spine, especially as you lift. Hold at the top here and keep the elbow and the knee really high as you bend those joints to reach the palm and the heel straight up. Inhale, extend, exhale, bend. Let's do 2 more like this. Great job. Lower the hand down to the mat. Tuck the right toes this time and hover the right knee 1 inch above the mat. Exhale to draw the left knee across to the right elbow, tap the left elbow, and then inhale, extend long. Keep going with this and make sure that you're not rocking through your spine each time you extend the leg, but that you pull the navel farther back to really stabilize the torso. Let's do 1 more. Extend and then rest the knee down on the mat. Hold the leg lifted, flex the foot, inhale, tap that toe down to the mat, and exhale, lift the heel high. Again, really make sure that the toes and the knee are pointing straight down at the mat each time you lower and lift. Remember to pulse at the top, lower on an inhale, and lift on an exhale. We'll do 1 more. Beautiful job. Let that leg rest down on the mat and then cross your ankles, coming down onto your glutes behind you, and then scoot to the center of the mat. Let's start some core work. Take your arms to parallel, exhale, hollowing through the belly, and tilt the pelvic floor into your C curve. Inhale and lift the right knee into the chest before you exhale to extend, flex the foot, and lower. Then place that foot down on the mat, and let's start on the left. Inhale to lift the knee in, exhale, extend and lower. Inhale, replace the leg on the mat. Keep going just like this, alternating legs each time you extend. And every time that you exhale, imagine hollowing the belly further, pulling the muscle just below the belly button back. Keep the shoulders pressed down far away from the ears to elongate the neck and really work the core in your C curve. Just 3 more and then we level it up. Hold the right leg extended now, and we'll flex to lower on an exhale, and inhale, lift a pointed and straight leg up, all while holding your C curve, lower and lift the leg, keeping the navel pulled back and the core engaged. Last one. Gently rest that foot down on the mat, and let's do all of that on the left. Exhaling to flex and lower the leg, and inhaling to straighten and lift, all in your C curve. We just have 2 more. Great job. Rest that foot down on the mat now. Let's pull the string up through the crown of the head tight to sit tall before we roll back, vertebrae by vertebrae, down to the mat. Let's get started with some scissor switches. Extend the right leg straight up to the ceiling and the left leg long in hover about a foot above the mat. Take the arms overhead and exhale high into a crunch. Twist over to the right, reaching the left arm past the right knee. And we'll inhale each time we switch the legs and exhale to extend the arm past the knee. Move slowly and with control as you keep your hips rooted down into the mat so that they don't rock back and forth as you switch the legs and twist through the torso. These slow movements should also help you keep the core engaged. We have 1 more. You're doing great. Hug the knees into the chest and turn the head side to side if you need to release any tension in the neck. Then extend the toes and fingers for opposite walls, stretching long, and we'll exhale to curl up into a sit-up before we draw the legs straight and lifted at 45 degrees. We'll inhale to control our lower back down to the mat. Let's repeat. Inhale, roll up, drawing the legs in, and then extend long in 45-degree angles before lowering down slowly on an inhale. We have 4 more just like this. Really squeeze the knees together for some extra resistance to help you roll up with control and engaging the correct muscles. This is our last one. Great job, everyone! You've officially made it all the way through our core series of class, and it's time to get started on our side glutes. Make your way onto your left elbow and make sure that your ribs are pulled up high, then draw the knees back in line with the hips, and on our exhale, we'll lift the hips high, extend the top leg up, and inhale, lower down. Remember to keep lifting the hips up even as you raise the top leg, and press down through the left shoulder so that it doesn't come up towards the ear. Hold the leg lifted now and take the right arm overhead. We'll extend the right leg and then flex and bend, keeping the knee in line with the hip the entire time. Inhale, point the toe and extend the leg. Exhale, flex the foot and bend at the knee. Remember that slow and controlled movements are your friend when you're toning your body. So really take your time to pay attention to where the knee is as you bend and straighten the leg. Hold the leg extended now and gently lower the hips down to the mat. Let's exhale to lift the hips up and then draw the leg straight up to the side before lowering down to the mat and gently lowering the hips. Really focus on keeping the navel pulled back to the spine as always, and make sure that the elbow is just below the left shoulder as you lift and lower. We have 2 more just like this. Hold everything lifted on this last one and we'll pulse that pinky toe up and up, keeping the rest of the body tight and stable. Great job. Gently lower the hips down and we'll swing those legs around to the other side so we can do all of that with the left leg on top. Come down onto your right arm this time. Make sure your knees are in line with your hips and pull up through the lower rib cage as you lift the hips and then draw the knee straight up to the ceiling. Inhale, lower down and repeat. Let's keep going with this 3 more times. Hold the knee lifted now. Let's extend the leg long and then flex and bend at the knee. Inhale, extend, flex and bend. Draw the arm overhead and make sure to keep the knee in the straight line with the hips each time you bend it backwards. Extend the leg long now and gently lower the hips down to the mat, drawing the arm by the hips. Exhale, lift the hips up, drawing arm overhead, and lift the pinky toe straight up to the side before you inhale, lower, and gently lower the hips down to the mat. Maintain slow and controlled movements so that your hips just move straight up without wobbling, and your leg lifts straight up to the side. Last one. Hold the leg lifted, and let's pulse that pinky toe up and up. Great job! Lower the hips down to the mat now and let's make our way onto our stomach. You've made it to our last series of class today, so go ahead and come to tabletop, shift the hips forward just slightly, and let's take a modified chaturanga all the way down, lifting our chest up to cobra at the top. Lower the chest down slightly and exhale to lift through the hips and repeat the chaturanga again. Keep going just like this and draw the shoulder blades farther down the spine each time you lift the chest while down on the mat so that we're engaging the muscles just below the shoulder blades and also working through our triceps during this chaturanga. We'll do 1 more just like this, making sure to keep the ribs closed over the hips as we lower our chest down to the mat. Beautiful job! Let's now walk the hands just a little bit farther in front of us and shift the hips to a full modified plank. We'll lower all the way down to our belly and this time press all the way up into a swan, taking our chin up to the ceiling before we lower the chest back down and do a push up back to our modified plank. We'll repeat this, lowering down, using our arm muscles, and then press up to a full swan, taking the chin up to the ceiling. Keep going, we just have 2 more and then we're done. This is your last one. Press the hips all the way back to child's pose now and take a moment to catch a well-deserved breath before we stretch out our muscles and finish class. Gently lift the chest from here and we'll draw our right knee forward to come into a deep lunge stretch for our hip flexor on the left leg. Make sure that the tailbone points straight down in this stretch and that the belly button is pulled back towards the spine to stretch even deeper into the quadricep and all of the muscles on the front side of the left leg. Shift the hips back now, extend the right leg long, and let's fold our chest over the right knee to stretch out the hamstring and the back muscles on that right leg. Then gently draw that leg back, and let's do this on the left. Taking the left knee forward into a deep lunge and making sure the belly button stays pulled back. Take a deep breath in and out before you shift the hips backwards and extend through the left leg, stretching out the left hamstrings and calf. Then make your way into a crisscross position in the center of your mat for some extra posture and breathing cues to finish out today's video. Inhale and roll the shoulders back, and exhale, close the ribs down over the hips. Thank your body for all of its hard work, and don't forget to join me later this week for our Lifted Glutes in 7 Days challenge. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video, and I'll see you next time.